Alright, Knives Sports Adventures here. We're going to do a new knife series. This is the first one in the series, which is the Bestech Bison. So this is a really cool little everyday carry knife. Well, not little, it's a kind of an average size knife. If you look at it next to a couple things here, this is a Benchmade Griptilian. So pretty solid, standard everyday carry size. I got a Benchmade SOCP here, which is a much larger knife, but that kind of gives you an idea where on the spectrum we're falling here as far as everyday carry, 3.5-inch blade-ish kind of things. Let's go ahead and start out with what I do like about this knife, what I don't like about this knife, and then we'll get into disassembly and kind of conclusions here. So what I do like about this knife is materials and kind of some attention to detail at this price point. About $100 price point, titanium G10 D2, right there. That's a really cool set of materials to see at this price point. Nice, some lightweight with the G10 and the titanium. What else do I like about this knife? I love the attention to detail here. There's a little bit of a relief on the frame lock there, so it's nice and easy to push. Frame lock action is firm but not too tight. Flipper is really well done, almost straight out, so it's really easy to catch. Close to the top here, so it's easy to catch. A little bit of jimping, nice and rounded, so it's very comfortable, easy to catch. You're not missing that flipper, right? It's wonderful. So kudos there. Handle shape looks a little ugly, right? But it's very comfortable. Your hand just kind of naturally closes around that part of the handle. Wonderful stuff there. What else is really cool? Relief here on the back. When you flip the flipper, your finger encounters a nice rounded surface there because that's been relieved a little bit, and it doesn't encounter a sharp edge like it would if you were down here. It's just a really good thought. Some knives do that. Nice to see it on a knife of this price point. Nice backspacer. So that's what I do like. Love the blade shape, love the handle shape, love the comfort, love the ergonomics. Some weird things that I'm not quite so sure about. Finger choil here. I don't like that because it makes the blade, start way up there on the sharpened portion. If you look at a different type of knife, this is another one I'm going to be doing a review on here soon. See how close to my finger the blade's sharpness starts? See how far away it is on the Bestech? That just means that if you're cutting something tough, you're going to have to put a lot more push into it because it's going to be levered further away from your fingers rather than up close. So it's not ideal. But if you like a finger choil and you like being able to choke up on a knife like that, you probably will like that. So that's a good thing about that. And also the bad thing about that. So pocket clip. I forgot about the pocket clip. Titanium pocket clip, which a lot of people screw up. Very well done. Perfect tension. Steeper on this side than it is on this side, so it goes into the pocket easy, comes out hard. Very well done titanium pocket clip. Wanted to mention that for sure. So I mentioned the finger choil as something that I don't like, but that's really about it on this knife. Aside from the looks, which are personal preference, otherwise a really solid knife. Let's go ahead and get into the disassembly here. See what we got on the inside, because there's some interesting design features on the inside that I want to point out. Pivot looks proprietary, but it's really just a Torx. I'm holding it still on the other side with my finger, but it's actually keyed, so it's not going to turn on you. That pivot will not rotate and be difficult to turn because it's keyed here in the titanium scale. So that's a nice touch. Like to see that. Pivot's not coming out yet, so I'll do the small screws here. Large pivot is a T10. Small screws are T6, which is a little more standard. I like seeing the T10 on the pivot. I'm not going to strip out on you, so that's kind of nice. These body screws down here are post and screw arrangement. So the screw on this side is threading into a post on the other side. This one is structural as well as holding on the pocket clip, which is nice in terms of efficiency, but if this screw ever were to strip, or the post were to scrape, it could be difficult to replace that. So be aware of that. But it's well done, you know, well keyed. Nice longer screw on this side, right? So less likely to cause you a problem there. You can open that up. There's the external stop pin. External stop pin on this knife, which I like to see a little bit sturdier that way than internal stop pin. You know, most people never have a problem with that, but I just prefer the sturdiness. Okay, so let's look at bearings, etc. There's your pivot. You can see it's keyed there on the one side. Blade shape, they have relieved quite a bit of metal around there, but they do have the kind of rounded slot into the stop pin, which is nice to see because that's sturdier. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of how little metal they've left around the pivot there, but it's pretty thick, so I don't anticipate that would be too much of a problem. On this side, on the titanium side, they have inset a steel washer in there. Good to see because it means it's going to be sturdier, it's going to be smoother, it's not going to wear as fast on that titanium, which is nice to see. There's the bearings captured in a brass cage. Nice skeletonizing here on the titanium. That does make the knife a bit lighter than you would expect to see at this size and with those materials. Really like what they've done on this side of the G10. This is steel insert. It just pops right out. It goes all the way down to the other bolt here. So it does add quite a bit of sturdiness to the G10. I don't know that that's even completely necessary, but it's cool to see that they're thinking, you know, of making this knife a little more burly. There's that. My thoughts on this knife. This is a good EDC knife. It's obviously a working knife, right? This is not a fancy knife. It's not a, you know, not a cool looker knife. This is a working man's knife. So if you're looking for an EDC knife, you like the finger choil, got around $100 to spend, this is a pretty good choice. I don't personally like the finger choil, so this one's not getting added to my personal rotation, but overall a good knife. So I would, this one does kind of meet with my seal of approval if you don't mind taking a risk on that. You know, if you're not cutting lots of hard, durable, you know, of using your knife. Really solid knife, and for only $100. So those are my thoughts on this knife. Kind of like it. Keep adventuring. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and have a great day.